Sawadee krab. So in this section, we're going to talk about the tones in Thai. All right. So Central Thai has 5 lexical tones. So what do we mean by lexical? Lexical means if we change the tone, right, of a word with the same consonant and vowel, we get a new meaning or we get a different meaning. So for example, if we take Mandarin as the sample, we have this word, right? Ma, ma. And we have this word, ma, ma. Correct? So see, the consonant is the same, the vowel is the same, but the tone is not the same. The difference in tone gives you a difference in meaning. So we call these lexical tones. Okay, very simple. So Thai has 5 lexical tones, and usually when they teach Thai in the universities, right, they will call the tones by certain names, and this is how they'll call the tones. They'll call the tones the mid tone, the low tone, the falling tone, the high tone, and the rising tone. There's actually another way of calling the tones, which is used in the Thai schools in Thailand when the Thais learn Thai. I will talk about it later, but when they teach you the names of the tones, right, they will use this convention. So this is what I mean by the conventional names of the Thai tones. Okay, and in Chinese, we have 第一声、第二声、第三声、第四声, correct? The order is 1、2、3、4. We don't have like 第二声, then 第三声, then 第一声, 第四声, correct? In Thai, there's also a certain order, a fixed order. And the order is what I just typed here. It's like the mid, low, falling, high, rising. Okay, so how do you pronounce all these tones? Let's look at this example. So this is an example of what I think most lecturers will draw to illustrate the tones. Okay, and then you also need to know how to represent the tones in the transcription. We already know how to write the vowels and consonants, right? When we transcribe the sounds, now we need to know how to transcribe the tones. So the first thing they'll draw always is the first tone, the mid tone. So this is pronounced as ma, ma. All right, you see the mid tone, there's nothing above the vowel, right? But for the other tones, like the low, falling, high, rising, there's a little mark above the first vowel, correct? These marks are called diacritical marks. So to represent these 4 tones, we need to use diacritical marks. But for the mid tone, we don't put any marks. Okay? So we have ma, the mid tone. Next, we have the low tone. Ma, ma. Okay? To represent the mid tone, we use this grave accent. It's called the grave accent. So for example, this is the vowel, right? Ma. This is ma. If you put the grave accent above the first vowel, it becomes ma, ma. Okay, the next one is the falling tone. This is pronounced as ma, ma. Okay, the high tone, the next tone is pronounced as, or the mark is this, by the way, above the A. Ma, ma. Okay, the last tone, the rising tone, they will use this circumflex accent. So this tone is pronounced as ma, ma. Okay, the pitch, these are the pitch, right? The pitch must go down and then go up. Okay, so the tones in Thai are ma, 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 ma. You should practice this order, like repeating like ma, 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 ma a lot until you are used to it. Okay. So this is a table summarizing how to transcribe the tone using the tone marks for IPA. The mid tone, we don't put any tone marks above. The low tone, we've used the grave accent, which is a downward stroke, like that, above the first vowel. Okay. The falling tone, we use this. And then the high tone, we use this. And the rising tone, we use this. So ma, 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 ma. Okay, everything looks fine and dandy, right? But actually, there's a problem with one of the tones. Okay, one of the tones drawn here by like instructors in the universities is not accurate. It doesn't represent the variation of pitch when you pronounce the word. The culprit is the falling tone. Okay, this variation in pitch, like rise and fall, right, is not correct. Or this is what we call pitch contour. Pitch contour. Contour means how it twists and turns, I guess you can say that. So like it goes up and goes down. According to this shape, right, we should expect the pitch to go up and then go down. So if we were to pronounce according to the shape, it should be from the mid tone, like ma, from this level, right? It should go up. Ma, ma, ma. But when we pronounce the falling tone, for example, if you watch Thai drama, you'll probably hear the word like mai, mai mi, mai pai, mai ma, correct? Mai, mai. Is there any like rise in pitch? No, it's just a fall in pitch. You don't hear people say like my me, correct? So let me put this thing called the pitch scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 is the highest pitch, 1 is the lowest pitch, and 3 is the middle pitch, right? If I were to mark the falling tone more correctly in terms of its pitch variation, it should be from the highest pitch to the lowest pitch, like ah, ma, ma. Correct? This shape is wrong. This shape is more accurate. Okay, so the difference between this graph and this graph is this falling tone. All right, and also I changed the starting point of the rising tone, the last tone, right? Rising tone. Instead of writing from like 3 here, with the mid tone is where the mid tone is, I write it at pitch level number 2. Okay, level 2. So it should be like ma, ma. Okay, so if I were to use the pitch scale to represent the tones, right, instead of the tone marks for IPA, I can use the numbers like 3, 3 for the mid tone. Okay, the first 3 refers to the starting point of the pronunciation, the starting pitch level. So it starts at 3, right? And then ma, it ends at the same pitch level, 3. So the second 3 refers to the end. So the mid tone can be represented by 3, 3. Ma. Okay, the low tone begins at 2 and goes down to 1. So ma. Ma. All right. So the low tone you can write 2, 1 as the pitch scale marking. The falling tone, as you have seen, it starts from 5 and goes to 1. So we write 5, 1. Ma. All right. The high tone from 3 to 5. Ma. Right? Ma. Rising tone, it goes down and goes up. Right? That's why there are 3 numbers. First, it begins at level 2, and then it drops to level 1, and then it rises to level 4. So it's 2, 1, 4. Ma. Okay. My. Something like that. Okay, so these are the tones. These are the tones in Central Thai. So let me talk about a few issues that Singaporean learners may encounter when they try to learn the Thai tones. So most Singaporeans who learn Thai as a statistical consequence would be Singaporean Chinese, right? And Singaporean Chinese should know Mandarin. So in Mandarin, we have 4 tones, right? You have the 第一声, 第二声, 第三声, 第四声. They are ma, 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 correct? Ma, 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 ma. Now let's look at the tones over here. So I already wrote tones here. So this is the same graph, the same character graph for the Thai tones. This is the pitch graph for the Mandarin tones. Okay, so we have ma, 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 ma. Okay, The issue, there are two issues when Singaporean learners learn about the Thai tones. The first issue is mixing up this tone and this tone. We mix up the Thai mid tone with the Mandarin Ti Sheng. The reason is both of them are level tones. They're level. It means they start at end at the same like level, the pitch level, like 3 and then ends at 3. This one begins at 5 and ends at 5, right? This is ma. This is ma, ma, ma. They're not the same, correct? This is one reason why this phenomenon where what we know, right? Linguistic knowledge that we have about a particular language interferes with the learning and acquisition of like the pronunciation or grammar of another language. In linguistics, it's called interference. So our knowledge on Mandarin tones, right, interferes with our learning of the Thai tones. So this is why for some speakers, right, some Singaporean Chinese, when they try to pronounce the word, or when they try to say the word ma lao, which means 来了, ma means to come, right? แล้ว means 了. Ma lao, instead of saying ma lao, like ma and then แล้ว, correct? They say the Chinese level tone instead. They say the 低声 instead. They say มาแล้ว ma lao, ma lao. This is wrong. Okay, don't pronounce it. Don't pronounce this. I mean, you should say มาแล้ว instead of มาแล้ว. This is the first issue. The second issue is trying to differentiate the high tone and the rising tone in Thai. Okay, because both of them, right? This is the rising tone and the high tone, right? Both of them have a portion of the pitch variation going up. So how do you know which is which? There are two ways of differentiating them or like solving the problem. The first way is to recognize that the rising tone has a part that goes down, and this one doesn't. So if you ever hear like a lowering of pitch before it goes up, right, it's probably the rising tone. There's one way. The other way is to compare the tones to a standard. So for example, if I put the mid tone beside each of the tones and we try to hear the difference, we should be able to tell that this one is the rising tone, this is the high tone. Okay, so if we have this word like mi mai, so mid tone is 3-3, rising is 2-1-4. Across the syllable boundary, right, the pitch must go from a 3 when you finish pronouncing the mi, correct, to a 2 when you start to pronounce the rising tone. Mi mai. So there's like a decrease in pitch as you go on to the new word. But for the high tone, right, mi mai, mid tone is 3-3, high tone is 3-5, correct? So same pitch level. This word has its pitch beginning at the same level where the first word ends the pitch. So the transition should be very smooth, like mi mai, mi mai, mi mai. Okay, this is mi mai. This is mi mai. If we pronounce two rising tones simultaneously, right, we will have like mai mai, mai mai. But if you pronounce two high tones consecutively, I mean, you'll be mai mai, mai mai. This is mai mai. This is mai mai. Okay, so this is the difference between the rising tone and the high tone in Thai. Okay, so let's compare the Thai tones and the Mandarin tones once again. If we were to wait a minute, if we were to write the pitch variation of all these tones, right, all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tones using the pitch scale, how will we represent them? So the mid tone in Thai is 3-3, right? The low tone is 2-1. Falling tone is 5-1. High tone is 3-5. And rising tone is 2-1-4. Correct. For the Chinese Mandarin tones, 第一声 is 5-5. 第二声 is 3-5. 第三声 is 2-1. 第四声 is 5-1. Correct. So let me pronounce it. Ma, 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 ma. Now the Chinese, the Mandarin tones. Ma, 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 ma. Okay, so let's compare. Do we have any similarities? Let's use black. So if you look right, we have 3-5 here and 3-5 here. We have 5-1 here and we have 5-1 here. Ma and ma, correct? Ma and ma, like 芝麻, ma pi, right? And we also have 2-1 here and 2-1 here. Ma and 你不要这样嘛, correct? The rest, the 低声 is not the same as the mid tone, all right? And then we have this extra tone here that we don't have in Mandarin. So when we learn Thai, right, since we know Mandarin, we should have no problems with the high tone, the falling tone, and the low tone. We will have problems when we pronounce the mid tone and the rising tone. Okay. Just be careful not to pronounce this as the 低声 is very weird to hear, like ma liao. It's very weird. Okay. So these are the two tones that we have to learn. We have to commit to memory. We have to learn by heart because these are new concepts. All right. All right, so this is the end of the consonant section. In the next section, I will talk about the naming of the tones in Thai.